things had gotten so bad that we were put in what we call foster homes. Everybody know what a foster home is. It's a home where you go where there's someone can take care of you, because my father's his health was failing as well. Trying to get a kidney transplant. His kidneys were failing. He was on dialysis, and my mother was mentally gone. So who was there to take care of us? No one. So some of us got split up. All 8 of us got split up to this home, that home. And as dysfunctional as we were, it was some kind of function into being dysfunctional. At that time, I had begun to come into my own, and there was a lot of boys in the neighborhood that I gravitated to, because my siblings wasn't as into brotherhood and being brotherly. They just, especially my 2 older brothers, they just wasn't. So it was just pretty much me on my own. So I gravitated to certain kids on the block or in the neighborhood. I remember this one kid, I won't name him, but I remember this one kid in my neighborhood, and I just, it wasn't an attraction physically, it was more so an attraction mindset. Very adventurous, always had a bike, because we love, people, our friends who had bikes, always had a bike, always did weird stuff. He would always tell me about his excursions with the women in the neighborhood, and he was just maybe a year or 2 older than me. I'm just like, what? Like, how are you doing all this? I became attracted to that, the essence of what that was. Someone who was in control, who had freedom, who can do whatever he wants to, who lived with his mom or whatever. But he was a person that was very, very just outgoing and adventurous, and had this tenacious attitude about himself, and was always, mouthing off at the teachers and bad in school, but he can hold his own in the streets. So I was attracted to that. I'm just gonna say, I just believe everybody's attracted to the same sex at some point, and I don't mean it in a sexual way. They're attracted to what that is, the essence. The guys who are lifting weights with the muscles when you're younger, and you're just like, I want to be just like that. Or the girls who look great with the hair and the skin, whatever. I want to be like that. It's just something about that kind of exudes an energy that is like, it's provoking. It kind of makes you want it. I want to get as close as I can to that without going over the edge, and I think that's what a lot of us do. We get as close to it as we can, but we never cross that edge. But so it was one particular time that he wanted me to stay over at his house, and I was like, how did I feel about that? I just thought it would be cool, because I feel like I'll be close to this person. I feel like I'll be close to him. I feel like I'll be able to get inside his mind, get inside, his psyche of why is he so bad in school, or why is what's going on in his life going on in his life. And I remember talking to his mom, and she's like, oh, he's, you guys want food? She made us food or whatever. We went up, and the thing is, I didn't tell my parents where I was, because my parents, they really didn't care. Like my father, my mom, they just didn't care what we did. My siblings don't know who I am, and I'm just there. And I just told his mom, oh, my parents said I could spend the night, had my clothes, I had everything. Cause I remember we talked about it earlier, and I came over and we was there, and I was just like, whoa, I'm here. I'm here. What's next? What's the next level to this feeling? What's the next level to this curiosity? What's the next level to this thought that I've had as a small kid, that I was seemingly in my mind aligned in a linear experience with a boy, a guy, a kid, that was like me. And I was just like, oh, that's crazy. We went upstairs, and we had these fans. Anybody that was born in the 80s know that there are fans, these big old fans, and we would put sheets over the fans. And we put the sheets on the fans, it makes this big old tent. And if you know, you know. So we made a tent, we sat there, and we was talking into the tent, just making jokes and laughing and rapping into the tents, and just laying there and just talking. And we were just there. His hand touched my hand. Okay, now let's listen to me. So his hand, we had came so close, whatever, that his side, it's like his thigh touched my thigh, and I panicked. I panicked and I was just like I didn't know what to think. It's like my heart stopped. Like every ounce of like anxiety just like pulsated through like everything just happened in that moment. I was just like, oh my God, this is gonna happen. Whatever this is, I didn't know what it would be. I just knew whatever it was, it would happen. And I felt the slowly moving closer. He was just like, so you went to girls? That's all he said. And I was like, I don't know. That's all I could say is I don't know. And then he said to me, okay. So what, and before he could say what else, like I was like, what do you mean? And like I cut him off. And he was like, girls, you know. He said, I want to show you something. And that's when my heart started to thump out of my chest. He said, I want to show you something. And I was like, okay, all right, what? And then there was a loud bang downstairs on the front door. A loud bang. Just bang, just bang. His mom yelled upstairs and said to me, Carlos, your dad's here. And when I tell you, like, I deflated in that moment. I felt like I was gonna figure out what that was, what my parents said I was, and my friend, you know, what my relatives said I was, what they thought I would be. I said, oh, this is that moment they thought I would be, so let's get to the moment. I came downstairs, and when I tell you, I was angry, I was upset, I was distraught. I had tears in my eyes. I couldn't believe that I didn't, like, get to that moment. Whatever that moment was, I didn't know what that moment was gonna be. Remember, I'm 12, 11. I didn't know what that moment was gonna bring. I just knew it was a moment, and I knew it was my moment to have. I was so angry at him, so angry. I'm never angry at my dad. I was so mad and so upset. So I was like, he said, hey, what are you doing? Let's go home. And we went home, and he said nothing to me on the way home. I really thought my father knew my journey. He knew where I was going, because my father had never came looking for us, never came to this person's house, that person's house, around the corner, up the street, never. When I say never, but somehow in that moment, he came looking for me. So then I knew he had an intuition, an inkling, an understanding that this could be the moment where, you know, his son crosses over to that world of unreturned, no man's land, but I did not. With that came a lot of pushback, a lot of angst, a whole hell of unsupport from my family, a lot, and that, especially a couple of my siblings, and that literally brought me to suicidal thoughts. It was one thing, I remember when it all started, it was when my brother said something very particular to me.